Welcome to Google Cloud OnAir live webinars from Google Cloud. My name is Magda and you're watching Certification Meetup. Joining me today is David Blum.
Hi Magda, thanks for having me.
Hello. You can ask questions at any time by submitting them in the box below this screen. And we have Googlers on standby to answer your questions. So let's get started. Welcome to the Certification Meetup dedicated to the topic of why Certify. My name is Magda Jare and I'm the global lead for Google Cloud Certification Go-to-Market. And David, who's our guest speaker today, he's a principal data scientist at NT Concepts. So let's take a look at our agenda today. First, we'll cover the topic of demand for cloud computing roles. We'll then cover learning resources and the overview of Google Cloud certifications. Then in the next part, we'll talk about certification success stories. So we'll have a conversation with David. And I have another surprise guest. We'll be playing for you an interview with Konrad. And lastly, we'll talk about benefits and ROI of certifications. Before we start, I also wanted to encourage all of you interested in the topics of certifications to watch the recordings of our previous sessions. So you can find one episode on our professional cloud DevOps engineer certification, for example, or you can catch up and watch the recording of the session from last month when we talked about the professional cloud architect certification exam. So you have the links ready. It's all on the website available for you to view on demand. With that, let's talk about the demand for cloud computing roles. So as we all observe and notice, the cloud adoption continues to grow. And as this adoption continues to grow, so is the demand for cloud skill set. And many studies showing this trend, and I believe you can also notice this in your daily life when you see what kind of job skills are really popular and in demand. So in particular, this demand for Google Cloud skills is seeing really the fastest growing demand. And there are a few things behind this trend. I like to really see it as that this rise of the multi-cloud environments is really impacting the demand for Google Cloud Platform. So our customers really want to have access to the best-in-class solutions, and this oftentimes means having a variety of solutions offered at their company. And also, another reason why the Google Cloud skills are popular in particular is that learning and using our technologies is really fun for developers. So really being close to the cutting edge technologies like Kubernetes, TensorFlow, and all the good things to learn about and to practice in your day-to-day jobs. And with all that said, we also recognize how learning these new cloud skills requires a new approach. So really a new approach to learning. And therefore, we as Google Cloud are learning programs that are really transformative. And the underlying motivation here is to really move the technical development teams from maybe some of the historical roles of maintaining systems into roles that are much more into innovation, driving change, and really achieving wonderful business objectives. So let's take a closer look now at our learning resources and the Google Cloud certification portfolio. So first, let's ground it in our overall approach to learning, where we distinguish several modalities of learning. So not everyone learns in the same way. And therefore, we also offer various approaches here. First is our portfolio of the instructor-led courses. So for some of us, really this traditional approach to learning in a classroom these days, very popular to approach this learning in a virtual format as well. Our entire Google Cloud training curriculum is also available in the on-demand format on our partner platforms of Coursera and Pluralsight. The Google Cloud Skills, it's all about actually implementing and the hands-on experience. Therefore, our Labs platform is very, very powerful for learning. And lastly, our Google Cloud Certified offering program that provides this benchmark to measure your team's skills and proficiency in a given job role. So specifically, our certifications really provide this benchmark for success. As an employer, this is a great indication that people on the team have this really proficient skill set. And for individuals, candidates pursuing the certification, this really gives this distinction of achieving this high benchmark in a given job role. So our certifications really provide a certain framework to measure this skill set. And here is our portfolio of available exams. We have one exam on the associate level and 7 exams on the professional level. And you'll notice that we highly, highly recommend that in order to approach any of these exams, what really matters is the practical experience. So in other words, these are practitioner exams. They really test your proficiency in a given job role rather than only some theoretical knowledge of a certain domain. What we'd like to present to you now in this map format is really a clear roadmap of all the learning resources that lead up to a preparation journey for a given certification. So you'll notice that you can take certain trainings in the both on-demand or classroom format. We also map for you all the relevant labs that would be applicable, and then other resources, including the study guides where applicable, or our practice exams for every single exam, certification exam. And you may find this map on our training website. So we also reference the URL for you. All of these maps are available there, as well as on the particular certification page. So for example, if you go to the Professional Cloud Network Engineer certification page, you'll notice a clear list of the readiness preparation resources, and that's pretty much all the content that we list for you here in this format. So these are the following maps for other tracks and other certifications in the same spirit, really listing the overall portfolio of available learning resources. On top of that, we also have books available for 3 of our exams, or technically 2, for Professional Cloud Architect and Associate Cloud Engineer. And the Professional Data Engineer Study Guide will be available very shortly. So stay tuned for the 3rd one on the market. These books are available as physical books, but also as ebooks. So for anyone who likes to study in this format, this is a great resource to complement your learning and preparation journey as well. So let's take a little look at the scope of Google Cloud certification exams. This is the question we receive quite frequently. Should I start with the associate first? Can I go straight into professional? So to clarify, there is no prerequisite. It's really the difference in the actual job role as well as the focus of the tasks that are performed in this job role and on the project that would help you determine which exam to take. So if we look at the customer implementation project and think about the technical requirements of such implementation, these would be the tasks that start with building, deploying, managing. And for this job role, we recommend the associate level certification. And for people who, on top of the technical requirements, also focus on the business requirements and they design and plan and optimize, these would be the great candidates for our professional level certifications. A little bit more about the actual exams. They are 2 hours in length. In terms of the format, it's multiple choice and multiple select. There are no prerequisites, and we highly recommend to have this hands-on real-life experience in the industry and also specifically on GCP in order to be successful with the certification exams. We are delighted to let you know that we have new announcements to share in terms of our exam delivery methods. So specifically for our Associate Cloud Engineer, as well as the Professional Cloud Architect exams, we now offer the online proctored exams. So they can be taken remotely. There is a number of requirements that needs to be met in order to approach this delivery method. So I would highly, highly encourage everyone to really study the FAQs before you consider this option, as well as watch a short video that we have recorded for you that really shows the details of the experience. So really what to expect, how to be set up for success if you choose to take your exam remotely. And in the meantime, of course, we all wait for the testing centers to be reopened globally. Both of these options will be available. So taking the exam still at the testing center or remotely, making sure that you meet the technical requirements to approach the exam. One thing I really wanted to highlight, please book your exam in advance. So exams are in high demand. If you are getting ready for your exam and you plan to take it in the next few weeks or months, book this exam today to make sure there is availability. Schedule in advance. I definitely do not recommend to hope for a slot to be available in tomorrow or the following day. So please continue booking your exams in advance. So right now, very, very delighted to have a chat with David, who's here with us to talk about his certification experience and share some tips with the audience. So once again, a very warm welcome, David.
Thank you so much, Magda.
David, if you could tell us a bit about your role at your company.
Sure. Well, as a principal data scientist, I am the senior most individual contributor within my company's data science professional services delivery solutions group. And in that capacity, I am typically involved in anywhere from 2 to 7 projects at any given time, carving up my time across them. That will usually involve me starting out on the project and developing the concept for the initial solution that we will deliver to a client, and get that solution underway and get the client buy-in to proceed. The team will spin up. I'll move into the background, staying abreast of the project and consulting with the team as they go and hearing their feedback and finding out from them what's working and what's not working. And if at any point in time we encounter issues and it makes sense for me to focus more of my time and energy on a project, I will. But I'm just typically juggling several projects and doing my best to develop solutions for all of them.
Wonderful, thank you. So in terms of the Google Cloud certifications, which of the certifications have you achieved?
I have achieved 2 certifications. One is the Professional Cloud Architect, the other is the Professional Data Engineer. I actually took the Data Engineer exam first, and I did that having taken the instructor-led course for the first instructor-led course that's part of the training curriculum, and then I moved to the on-demand training format afterwards. And I was doing this while I was supporting one client-led project that involved where my company was providing partner services with Google. afterwards, I felt it made sense for me to also get the cloud architect certification, because a lot of what my role turned out to be was designing the solution rather than performing implementation all the way through.
Excellent, thank you. So, what would you say was your primary motivation to approach the certification exams?
First and foremost, it was the skills that I developed along the way. And toward that end, I think that the labs, the code labs and the quick labs that Google has made available are really outstanding. Now, of course, they range in complexity. There's some that are short and sweet and just provide you with an introduction to a particular managed service. There also are quests that involve, are multifaceted. They're several hours, even days long. And those quests are an excellent way to experience firsthand how the different managed services on Google Cloud can fit together.
Excellent. Anything else you would like to mention around this experience of preparing for the exam?
Sure. Well, there's not really any substitute for hands-on in my point of view. The instructor-led classes are great. There's clearly been a lot of time and effort that's gone into developing the on-demand content as well, but you have to devote time towards the labs and preferably actually provide real service to real service on Google Cloud Platform in order to develop the experience that you'll need to be successful. So I would say don't shy away from getting your hands dirty. Take advantage of the free credits that Google offers to the general public when you first sign up on a trial basis for Google Cloud Platform, and figure out how, learn those services for yourself.
Excellent, thank you. And I know that you have also recertified. Could you tell us a bit more about your motivation and the value you see out of recertifying?
Sure. Well, I had two motivations. The first was, although I use my Google Cloud certification associated skills routinely, Google's always rolling out new managed services, and I don't necessarily use all of them at any given time. And so in recertifying, I gained exposure to several new services that had come online in the time since I initially certified. Secondly, in addition to providing skills, there's no doubt that certification is a signal to your clients and to your customers that you are prepared to help them fully leverage the Google Cloud Platform. And so I found it helpful to recertify in order to maintain that badge, so that clients, when they check me out on LinkedIn or see my resume, will see that I'm Google Cloud certified and they can place their trust in me.
Thank you. So really this credibility aspect. Thank you for mentioning this. And how was your experience preparing for the recertification? Was it anyhow different from your original preparation experience? How was it for you?
On one hand, quite a bit of the exam I was very well prepared for already, just from having used the Google Cloud Platform day in, day out for the last 2 years. And I would say at least 2/3 of it I didn't need to study for. I was ready to go. The remaining third of it were new services that I hadn't used before. And so taking the on-demand content in order to acquaint myself with those new services, and also taking the labs where I got a chance to use them myself, was very, very helpful. So if you're thinking about recertifying, my suggestion would be, first take a look at the on-demand courses, the current on-demand courses for the exam you want to recertify in, and just page through it quickly in order to identify what are the areas that you feel comfortable with and what are the areas that are new to you. And where you find those new areas, watch it in detail and find the quick labs or the code labs that are associated with it. Take those, find the quests, take those, and then you'll be good to go.
Excellent, easy. Thank you. And what is next for you in the area of certifications and cloud skills?
The next thing will be to help my my company and my colleagues achieve additional certifications. I don't think that I'm going to certify personally in other areas, but I know that right now we have at least 2 people going through the DevOps engineer course, and it will be great to get them certified. There's quite a bit of our work that involves knitting together machine learning and data science with DevOps and providing continuous integration with the solutions that we develop. So encouraging them, identifying opportunities to pull those individuals into our projects.
Thank you. It's really wonderful to hear you're stepping up now in this role as a coach and mentor. That's really great. Anything else that you'd like to leave our audience with today?
Again, take advantage of those free credits that Google gives you when you sign up for a trial. They're outstanding. You can spend them on anything. You can spin up GPU-enabled virtual machines or whatever it is that you need.
Thank you. And thank you so much, David, for your time. Really appreciate your insights and congratulations on all the achievements. And really a true pleasure to have you here as our guest speaker.
I appreciate it, Magda. Thank you. Take care.
So with that, let's mention a few other topics that may be top of mind for our certification community. One of such topic may actually be recertification. We realize that for some of you, this initial period of 2 years when the certification is valid, you may be already in this situation where you need to recertify. So we wanted to assure you that we keep monitoring the situation and extending the timeline accordingly. We realize that these are really special, challenging times. So you'll find all the information regarding the timelines on our external certification page. We do hope that you do consider recertification and the time will be right for you to approach it either remotely or once the testing centers reopen. So now let's talk about the benefits as well as the ROI of certifications, and starting with the perspective of the IT decision makers. So really, what is the value that employers notice and derive out of certifying their teams? And the first data point that's really interesting is that in the last 12 months, 2/3 of the overall training budgets were typically spent for the purpose of certification or recertification. And then in terms of the value of certifications, 93% of IT decision makers agree that certified employees provide added value above and beyond the actual cost of certification. And then when it comes to the attempts to quantify this cost, 63% of the IT decision makers believe that the economic benefit of certified employees exceeds $10,000 a year. We also wanted to provide you with a perspective of our certified community. So we do conduct surveys among our certified individuals and what is the value that they perceive out of achieving the certification. And you'll see that really the perceived benefits are in the area of feeling more confident in the professional future. 82% of respondents believe that this they can prove cloud skills competency to recruiters. So really they feel more empowered to apply for new opportunities or to present their value and qualification to recruiters and employers. Really confidence, new opportunities, and the actual skill set are some of the values that are being reported back to us. Another thing that we believe our certification community really enjoys and appreciates are other benefits, including swag. So for the achievement of our professional level certifications, you are eligible to select your piece of certified swag. And we also maintain the community bond and so on. So there are also other opportunities to be recognized and to enjoy the benefits. And with that, I would like to introduce one of the members of our community that we had a great conversation with a little bit earlier than today. So we have a pre-recorded interview with Konrad, who is a chief cloud architect working at Atos. And Konrad holds over 30 industry certifications, including all 9 Google Cloud Platform certifications. So a really huge achievement here. And Konrad is also recognized as one of the Google Cloud Certified Fellows. And he's really very actively, very involved in the local developer community activities. So, as I said, we had a conversation with Konrad, and we'd like to play it for you now. So enjoy the video interview with Konrad.
Hello, Magda, and thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you. We'd love to know, what is your motivation to take the certification exams?
So this is a question I'm getting a lot from people around the globe, actually, right now. As you mentioned, I have all those certifications, so people get inspired. They're asking me what motivates me the most. So what I really don't want to do is repeatable work. Currently the industry is moving so fast that you need to learn new things. So what my method of getting into new projects, getting to work with the newest technology is by doing certification. It's simply that you can't learn everything yourself. And if you have certifications program from vendors or service providers like Google, this is exactly guiding you what you should learn to start working with this technology. So, wherever I was changing the position in the organization, it was always involving getting certified.
Excellent. And indeed, in the fast-moving cloud industry, no shortage of new things. So indeed, the certifications are a great knowledge benchmark
Exactly.
there. So tell us, how much time does it take to prepare for a certification exam?
Another great question, Magda. So it does really depends on where you are in your journey. So I take it back like 2 years ago when I started my study for GCP. And basically, it took me a while to study for the exams, for the first exam. It's basically Google Cloud Architect, so the entry exam. So it took me a couple of months because I knew I wanted to get some confidence, learn about all the services, and then take the exam. And what I try to do is always to pass the first time, and just to be confident that I can not only pass the exam, but also do actual work. Once you do a Google Cloud Certified Architect, you can take other exams, like networking specialties, etc. And it's a much shorter time. So it really depends. It can be from a couple of months up to a couple of weeks.
Konrad, so what are the most useful preparation resources for certifications?
Yeah, and this is probably the question I get the most in the community, because people are looking for resources to start their journey with. So there are multiple resources actually, and most of them you can try for free. So let's take the official training by Coursera that Google offers. You can actually, there a lot of times you can get it for free for 30 days trial. So just check it out, because it actually is crafted training for taking the exams. And it also goes with quick labs. Quick labs are really great because you can spin up the resources in GCP. You have exact scenarios that you can use. You follow up the scenarios, and you get hands-on. This is not something that was available a couple of years ago. So there are no excuses. Even if you don't have access to actual production systems that you can work with, now you just spin it up in a couple of minutes and do all the hands-on. That's really great.
Excellent. So indeed, the practitioner exam with for practitioners with real life experience. So indeed, these highly interactive trainings in the actual environment seem to be really useful preparation resources. How about your top tips for successfully passing the exam?
Yeah, those tips are not so technical. I would rather think like how you approach those exams. For me, I realized one thing: just avoid procrastination. So the most important thing is just decide. If you decide you want to take the exam, book your exam the same day, and make sure that you set your deadlines because it's like a psychological effect. You already have this book, and you know that you have a particular day to prepare for. This is not a deadline, I would say, because you can still postpone the exam 72 hours before the exam. So, you know, there are a lot of things that can happen in your private life and you might need to postpone it. But you have this deadline, it's great psychological effect. Once you have this book, I think it's really worth reaching out to the community and get people that, you know, will sort of motivate you when, you know, you have some sort of really smart competition to to start doing the exams. And I have people like this within my organization. So people are really keen on doing certification and, you know, we'll support each other. So that's another thing. We've been already talking about the materials, and I think it's really useful that the day one, when you decide to take the exam, you just put down all the materials that you will be using. Because you can, let's take Coursera, you can download, if you have your smartphone, you can download all the materials on your smartphone. And whenever you have time, you can reach out to your smartphone, watch the videos, and you're ready to go. So those are like the 3 tips that work the most for me. Having the deadlines, having the materials ready, no excuses.
So what is the most rewarding outcome of preparing and achieving the certification for you?
Yeah, so this is very much related to the first answer that I gave, you know, being able to work on new projects, yeah, and being recognized within the organization. When if you can be recognized outside of the organization as well. And this is extremely important now for me. I realize that, you know, I'm getting recognized outside in the community. People are watching what I'm doing, and then they get inspired as well. So I've been recently getting messages from people asking for help to start the journey with the certification. And also, I can feel I have some influence on how the community works. So it's a great experience, I must say, something that I didn't think of. So it's like a side effect of what I've been doing without even realizing that it's going to end up like this.
That's great to hear. Anything else you would like to leave our audience today, Konrad?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, if you really hesitate to take the exams or you don't even, you know, you probably are not looking at passing the certification, start with doing free trainings that you have because it gives you a lot of opportunity. It's for free. You can try it for free. So there is no reason why you shouldn't do it. So just start today, look for Coursera, do some quick labs and see if you like it. And maybe certification will get you addicted like myself.
Thank you so much. We are out of time. This was such a great conversation with you. Congratulations again. Congratulations on your certifications and being such a great champion for Google Cloud. And best of luck to you and to everyone else thinking about their certifications. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Magda. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the interview with Konrad. I really appreciate the fact how both Konrad and David are now serving as mentors and technical coaches for others who are getting ready for their exams. Konrad also mentioned the importance of booking your exam in advance, so please do so. And lastly, we are very pleased to introduce some exclusive training offers for you. Offers on training on Quick Labs, plural site, as well as selected set of training on Coursera. It's all available under the URL provided on the slide. So happy learning. Other than that, we would love to invite you for our upcoming certification meetup webinar. It's coming up on May 14th, and we'll be discussing the professional data engineer certification exam. And you can find the URL to sign up as soon as possible. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in today. Please visit the Cloud OnAir website for more hands-on learning, training, and demos from Google Cloud experts. And we'll see you next time.